Here we have Nick Walker and Rafael Brandao, a couple of bodybuilders that are in fact qualified for this year's Mr. Olympia event. So it will be very interesting to see where these two dudes will place. Will they place, fifth and sixth, fourth and fifth, things of that nature? Will they even be in the same call out? Most people would say no. Most people would say Nick Walker, he's just going to be too much, and that's believable when it comes to the arms, things of that nature. The guy is a beast. I'd give him the front double for sure. But if you talk to a large group of, I don't know, maybe some Brazilian fans, things of that nature, even fans that are strictly in bodybuilding to see the aesthetics and less about the thick muscle, sure some people would vote for Rafael Brandao. But either which way, we will go through all of the shots, not just the front double. It's bodybuilding, not the front double bicep contest. But yeah, I would give Nick Walker the front double, but we will go through all of them. And for those of you who are concerned about the version of Rafael that I used, it's the Arnold Classic South America, where he qualified, just like Nick Walker. He qualified here at the New York Pro, so it's even. It's an even playing field. There is the Arnold Classic version of Rafael, but I don't think that's, I think it makes more sense to use the Arnold Classic version. I don't think he's that much more conditioned anyway. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of powdered sugar. Now the front lat spread, yes, I could see Rafael Brandao winning this one, but Nick is still a beast. He's huge. Midsection's a little bit off kilter, I think. Sizing a little bit difficult, too, when it comes to these two dudes. Is Nick that much bigger in the midsection than this guy? That's a lot. It is. It is. And I think it would make the difference. I think it would make all the difference in the front lat spread. And they would give it to Brandao, the Brazilian bombshell. Turn to the side. Now, this is a shot where, yes, it was a controversial win, perhaps. Hey, it could be a controversial win for both guys, depending on who you're talking to. But either way, Rafael Brandao versus Tonio Burton. It was definitely debatable. But from the side, I think Brandao was pretty dominant. And Nick Walker, maybe not the best in the side chest. I've heard people say he was one of the best in the IFBB to hit a side chest. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, I suppose. Unless it's totally off. But I guess they're still entitled to it. Side tricep. This is a little closer. Get a little bit closer. Wasn't that a song? They played that song on an old commercial or something. Get a little bit closer. Because they had deodorant on. They didn't stink anymore. You don't want to be up close next to somebody if they smell like raw onions. You want your pizza to smell like that. Not your people. But anyway, Nick Walker. Come on. I think he's losing from the side. Condition-wise, probably still winning. Oh, that's me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. Turn around for the back. And more than likely, an edge for Nick Walker. Is it? Yeah, he's got a thicker back. It's bigger. It's a more impressive back. Lower half's not even close. Lower half, and this was the argument with Tonio Burton. And Nick Walker might even be more conditioned, double time it, than Tonio Burton. Well, Tonio's pretty peeled, but Nick's got those pipes. What about the Arnold Classics version of Brandao? Still, I think Brandao could nail it as far as he's concerned. I'm sure somebody would say, he's not nailing it. Well, if it's his best version, that's him nailing it. That's it. The ladder doesn't go any higher than that, folks. Nick's just going to be much more conditioned and a bigger back to boot. What about the rear double bi? I'm not even going to give you the Louis Frigno. The rear double by, where his dad says, both arms, Louis. Both arms, Dad? Yeah, I think it's an even more devastating shot in the rear double. Rafael Brandao, he leans way back. He leans way back. Takes from his overall aesthetics of the shot, I think. I don't know. They say it creates more thickness. But when you're looking at it straight on, don't you prefer the way Nick's hitting his? He's standing up kind of straight. It's a nice drawn out. Looks like a big bull's head with his arms, the horns. Where Rafael, it's kind of. I mean, look at the length of his legs compared to the length of his back. Just looks a little unsymmetrical, or no, not proportioned. Of course, Nick's accused of having a longer upper body than his legs, but those legs are so big. Leagues? What am I saying wrong? One of these days I'll figure it out how I'm mispronouncing. Legs. Legs. You want me to say legs? Whatever you want. Here's the abs and thigh. You just tell me the rules that you want to play by, and I will gladly play by those. But don't you dare change the rules on me midway through. Wow. Where did that come from? The abs and thigh is a Brandao automatic. There's a couple of Brandao automatics. And yeah, it's no fault of the conditioning of Nick Walker. So keep that in mind. Conditioning is always important. I didn't pick this one a bad picture of Nick Walker on purpose. On purple. Trust me, I could have found an even worse picture of Nick Walker. And we're talking Cassius Whopper. Cassius Whopper. Can you ever dream of a belly so big, so round, so soft? But yeah. There is aesthetics to keep in mind. And midsection. Not just if you prefer the physique or not. That you see enough physiques and the aesthetics kind of lessens. It's like, well, now you're just focused on who's more conditioned, but having a tight midsection, a small midsection, should be optimal. Optimum should be very important. I gotta get one of those Trinosauruses. The books there tell you what words mean. But Brandao, like I said, aesthetic-wise, I mean, certain shots like this, he does come out very impressive. Structure, but condition, ultimately, they're not even going to be in the same call-out. You got to understand that. Especially at the Olympia. They got to break those call-outs up somehow. They're not worried about, oh, well, he looks a little nicer in that abs and thigh pose, McMahon. They're looking at condition, then they will break it up into similar type grouped conditioned men, and then they will decide who looks better within those men. So I think Brandao's should be more worried about Tony O'Burton than Nick Walker, but this was a fan request. This was not my idea, although it was a good one for sure. Could bring up that conditioned Brandao and hope that Nick Walker doesn't come in as peeled. You got him. You got her, Pontiac. Have a great one.